Today on Fresno State Focus, we'll take a look at the agriculture celebration on campus.
Plus, find out why hip-hop stigma is changing. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Marilyn Cowley.
And I'm Jeff Smith. For the past 2 years, Fresno State has celebrated National Ag Week, and this year was no exception. The Jordan College of Agriculture and Sciences and Technology was in charge of putting the event together. Reporter Luisa Marquez has more on the event.
Almonds, oranges, raisins, and other crops played a huge role during the National Ag Week at Fresno State this year. It is an event that helps raise agriculture awareness. Serena Silva, the president of the Student Leadership Council, was in charge of coordinating some events on campus this year.
I think that it was a huge success. I feel really special coming from the #1 agricultural region in the world and going to school here and being able to talk about how my school celebrates National Ag.
National Ag Week kicked off at Fresno State's Gibson Farm Market, where they sell harvested crops produced by students. Alyssa Mello, student lead manager at Fresno State's Gibson Farm Market, said that the event allowed guests to sample the variety of the university products in a fun environment.
We had a lot of students come in and a lot of people asked. It was great because it also gave awareness to ag, because people would ask what it was and what were we doing, and it was a nice way to show the ag awareness side as well.
Fresno State's observance of National Ag Week concluded with guest speaker Mario Santoyo, Executive Director and Technical Advisor of the California Latino Water Coalition. Fresno State Ag student Bradley Miranda said that Santoyo is a major source to learning more about the water issues.
The drought and crisis that we're facing right now in California, I thought he'd be the perfect topic to talk to students and faculty and really shed a better light on the issues that we're facing right now.
The drought situation was the main subject at National Ag Week at Fresno State, but the highlight was to educate students where their everyday meal comes from. Luisa Marquez, Fresno State Focus.
The Center of Creativity and the Arts at Fresno State invited Joseph Delap to create a new memorial piece as part of this year's Data and Technology theme. Reporter Blanca Juarez tells us more.
Drones. These aerial robots are replacing manned planes.
Drones are used in risky or difficult situations. They provide eye-in-the-sky surveillance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Each drone can stay in the air for up to 17 hours at a time, watching over an area and sending back real-time images of activities on the ground.
I'm amazed by the work he's done. I'm excited that so many students got involved in building it.
Over 100 volunteers helped build this life-size replica. The 49-foot by 27-foot sculpture took them almost 3 weeks to complete. It was more than they originally expected.
Any particular agenda, we're not hoping people become converts to some political ideology.
The color yellow was chosen not only because it's bright and draws attention, but because it's associated with being cowardly.
The memorial to civilian casualties of drone strikes in Pakistan. So the drone that you see here, which we're just in the process of getting to the final installation stage, will actually, after tomorrow's event, be written upon with the names of actual Pakistani civilians who were killed by our drone strikes.
Once the piece is taken down, Delap will take it to his studio. He hopes to be able to show this piece in the near future somewhere else. Today is the only day that volunteers and community members were allowed to write the names on the piece. However, the drone will remain here until the end of May in front of the art building. Blanca Juarez, Fresno State Focus.
Many students swarmed the Vintage Room in hopes of meeting their employers. Networking Week is a series of events catered to helping graduates learn skills that will get them hired. It's put on by the Fresno State Career Center. The highlight is a networking mixer where students go from table to table speaking to various professionals. Engineering student Kiranjit Downjohn says she found out about the event through an email and did not want to miss it.
Really encouraging professional development, and we're trying to help our students by bringing employers from all different fields to help them articulate their skills to become professionals in the field.
Career Services says while this week-long event has come to a close, it does not mean that networking has ended. Networking is a lifelong process and is a very important factor in getting a job upon graduation.
Is it possible to be under someone's complete control while being under hypnosis? Boston comedy hypnotist David Hall paid a visit to Fresno State and hypnotized some audience members. Susie Gonzalez tells us how one participant claimed to be Beyonce.
Boston comedy hypnotist David Hall came to Fresno State for a night of fun and entertainment. Hall invited 20 audience members to the stage to participate in the show. The participants quickly rushed to the stage where they sat down and listened carefully to Hall's instructions. During the introduction, Hall explained that not everyone would be able to process their mind into the stage of hypnosis. David Hall, who has been practicing hypnosis for more than 10 years, suggests that you come at your own will, otherwise the hypnosis will not work. David Hall explains that hypnosis is a gateway to your subconscious. Although hypnosis will sometimes not work for people the first time, Hall says it is not impossible, but you may be the reason why your mind won't allow it.
You know, everyone can be hypnotized. A lot of times the only thing that will stop you from being hypnotized is yourself. So some people might not really want to go there.
Throughout the show, there were different scenarios. One scenario made the participants believe they won $1 million. The highlight was one participant in particular, Stefan Nikora, who was hypnotized to think he was Beyonce.
Was pretending to be Beyonce because I didn't think I knew how to be Beyonce. And apparently I gave it a really good shot.
Alberto Duran, who was also part of the show, recommends for people to try hypnosis, especially if it's their first time.
Falling into hypnosis, and I really wanted people to. When I pictured it going up there, I really just wanted to be kind of free and just kind of let go and let things kind of happen.
You can follow the hypnosis experience by checking out David Hall's website at www.magicofdavidhall.com. Susie Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State students are known to work on projects all over campus, but some students get to travel overseas to work on even larger assignments. Physics students have an opportunity at Fresno State to travel to Switzerland and work at a research center responsible for some of the world's largest scientific breakthroughs. With me today is Jimmy Gonzalez, a physics student who traveled to the CERN Research Center last summer and is going again in the next few months. Thank you for being with me, Jimmy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so can you give me an idea of what CERN really is? I know it's a big topic to cover, but...
What CERN is actually the world's largest hadron collider, and what we're actually aiming to do is to examine the most fundamental particles and actually their internal structure. So one of the main topics recently that was kind of everywhere was the Higgs boson, and what that one was it was theorized several years ago, and it was actually recently discovered that there was a particle with the exact same mass of the Higgs.
And when you go over there last summer, what did you work on?
I worked on top reconstruction, which is the top quark, and because the top quark decays so quickly, it can actually be detected. Instead, you detect the decay jets, just a spray of particles, and then from there you have to kind of go back and rebuild the top quark.
And when you go over there, you work with some of the top scientists in the field. What is that like being a student?
It's actually interesting that you say top physics or top physicist, since I was working with the top physicists of the world, since I was working in the top group. And it's actually quite exciting since everyone there is working constantly, always thinking about physics and what they're trying to do next. And so it's always a great learning experience.
And you've been there last year, and you're going back again this summer. What did you learn from your last trip over there that you can apply this time around?
Just about everything. I learned programming, some field theory, and most of the other complicated field equations.
We've been talking with Jimmy Gonzalez about his work at CERN through Fresno State. Thank you for being here.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, see how Fresno State students got together to bond over sneakers and give back to the community.
Plus, Marilyn sits down with a member of Kappa Alpha Theta to discuss their recent philanthropic achievements. All that when we come back.
I am
and always will be.
Welcome back to Fresno State Focus. Fresno State shows there is more than meets the eye or ear when it comes to hip-hop. Chloe Nakagawa tells us how students and professors are taking a stand against hip-hop stereotypes.
And say, oh yeah!
Hip-hop legend Kurt Walker, aka Curtis Blow, came to campus to show his rap documentary. Blow was the first commercially successful rapper in the 80s and made catchy songs still used today.
They're playing basketball.
He says he made this documentary 15 years ago to educate society on hip-hop culture.
I love to quote KRS-One when he says, you know, rap is something that you do, but hip-hop is something that you live.
Fresno State student Miracle Folly attended the screening not only because she wanted to meet the legend, but also to show her support for the Africana Studies Department.
I feel like everyone should know that, especially the people that love hip-hop, or even just want to know more about it, you know, just be educated.
Dr. T. Hassan Johnson is a professor of Africana Studies and teaches the hip-hop culture class on campus. Johnson is also the founder and project director of the annual Hip-Hop Research and Interview Project. The event brings significant figures in hip-hop history to give a first-hand learning experience of the culture. According to an interview with Fresno Alliance newspaper, Johnson said people should experience hip-hop directly rather than just reading about it. Which is true for Fresno State student Andrew Jacinto. He produces for local Fresno rappers right out of his home. Jacinto's beats are influenced by underground hip-hop because he says it's more about the music than fame.
They sort of tell you what to make. And if you don't make what they want you to make, then you don't get played.
You don't have to be a hip-hop enthusiast like Jacinto to learn about the culture. Just go to the annual Hip-Hop Research and Interview Project on April 25th. Chloe Nakagawa, Fresno State Focus.
An event on campus raised an interesting question. How crowded is your bed? Many Fresno State students found their answer this Monday. Simone Rixey tells us more about the event.
Sexual education shouldn't just stop in high school. It's a prevalent topic on college campuses. An event was hosted this Monday to better inform Fresno State students on their sexual health. The event was hosted by the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. The event included games, trivia, and more.
The event hosted by the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was called How Crowded Is My Bed? An event that sheds light on sexual relationships and knowledge that's necessary as a college student and an adult. It brought some pretty interesting topics to the table and it shed light on how crowded people's beds really are.
Fresno State student and event participant Adana Don talks about why he thinks events like these are important.
You know, we are in a college setting, let's be honest, people do have sexual interactions, so, it is very resourceful to learn stuff.
The event was done in conjunction with the LEASH program, a program out of the health center. Liz Kroller talks about how this program works.
The LEASH program stands for Leaders in Education and Awareness on Sexual Health, and we focus primarily on educating the Fresno State students about birth control, STIs, and then services that they can find on campus.
Chapter President Dorothy Colin describes why this event was hosted and why it's important for things like this to happen on campus.
Our entire purpose for hosting How Crowded Is My Bed is so we can have an informative conversation with our college youth here on campus about sexual awareness and responsibility. There are so many different diseases and sexually transmitted infections that can potentially affect our students here on campus.
For more information on sexual education, stop by the university's health center. The ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated will continue their week until Saturday. I'm Simone Rixey, Fresno State Focus.
The first annual Show Me Your Heat sneaker exchange brought a variety of sneakers to Fresno. Reporter Tamara Hill was there to see what the sneaker exchange was all about.
From low tops to high tops to an array of colored shoes. Sneaker lovers all over Fresno came out to sell and buy new and used shoes and also give back to the community. Visual marketer Klisham Shakir helped organize Show Me Your Heat.
Sneaker exchange is just a tool for the sneaker community of Fresno, or just in general to get together to where they can network with other people that's into the sneaker culture, as well as buy sneakers, sell sneakers, or trade sneakers, some of the most rare sneakers that you may have out there.
Event coordinator Ezra Payton says they wanted to put on an event for the community.
What can we do for the community to help us out and just bring Fresno all together as one? And one of the common things we found everybody was interested in was music, sports, clothing. To go along with clothing, just sneakers.
Show Me Your Heat Sneaker Exchange is more than just coming and selling your shoes for money. It's also about giving back to the community. Kyle Richardson, the event coordinator for the Sneaker Exchange, wanted to give back to the less fortunate, so he came up with a way to do so.
The K-Rich Cares program, which is pretty much people bringing their unwanted shoes and donating them here. And we're going to take those shoes and take them around Central California and give those to those less fortunate. So actually, those who don't have shoes are going to benefit from the sneaker exchange as well.
The first annual Sneaker Exchange was a success, and organizers hope that the next one will be even better. Tamara Hill, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State sorority Kappa Alpha Theta hosted its annual Casa de Theta fundraiser and set a fundraising goal of $10,000. With me today is Gina Gittins, the coordinator of the event this year. Thank you for being here today, Gina.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what is Theta Dilla?
Theta Dilla is a fundraiser that we host every single year. And basically what we're doing is we have like a span of time during around 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. where we're selling quesadillas. And the whole name Theta Dilla came from our special little Theta quesadillas. And so what we're doing is we're selling them for, or we sold them for $5. It was an unlimited fee or whatever to get in. And it's a fun event. We had music, people dancing, and just eating. It was really cool.
So then how many Theta Dillas do you think that you actually ended up making by the end of the night?
Well, we started off with buying 1,400 tortillas, and we ended up running out and having to go and make another stop for about another 200. Yeah, and about 75 pounds of cheese.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And so how many people do you think showed up?
We had about 480 people show up. So it was a pretty crazy event. People were coming in and out, and we had a raffle ticket thing going on, so we sold about 1,500 raffle tickets for $1, and we had a cash prize of $300 and $150. So
that's great. So then, did you make your fundraising goal of $10,000?
Well, the whole goal is a year-long goal, but we definitely surpassed our halfway mark. So we're really excited to present that check in December because our fall philanthropy is coming around the corner.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then tell me what CASA is.
CASA is court-appointed special advocates, and what we do is we just raise money, awareness, and also a lot of Theta women all over the country end up being CASA volunteers. And these CASA volunteers are appointed by judges to take foster children or children that are maybe not represented well through the court system until the very end. So it's a very long process for those children. It's very near and dear to our hearts, and we do whatever we can to get the awareness and the support to them.
Well, that's great that you're doing all that stuff. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for being here today, and I'll
absolutely.
have to come get a Theta Dilla next year, definitely. Thank you for talking with us.
The city of Fresno passed legislation that outlaws the growing of marijuana plants. There are many people voicing their opinions for and against the recent ruling. Alexis Godot has more on the weed controversy.
After several years of debate, the city of Fresno is saying no to marijuana.
Well, there are a couple of major issues for me. I think the big one first is it's got to be the people who have medical conditions. When I remember when the law first passed, when Prop 420 first passed, it wasn't a bunch of the stereotypical college stoners who were out there fighting for the bill. It was people with legitimate medical problems who had serious concerns where regular pharmaceutical drugs just couldn't help them.
The city of Fresno has joined the county in banning all marijuana growing. The city already bans the growing of marijuana outdoors.
Not for it or against it. I feel like
people are going to do what they want to do, and I feel like, I mean, personally, I feel like it's a gateway drug. People smoke all the time. They're going to find a way to smoke all the time, so there's going to be crimes regardless. They're going to figure out a way to get it to Fresno. They're going to figure out a way to get it out of Fresno.
Opponents of moving the ban indoors told the city council that they are depriving medical marijuana users of their medicine. Fresno City Council has passed the ban against marijuana growth. From the dispensary clinics that I have spoken to, they all want to remain silent and keep this as calm as possible. For those who use marijuana as medication, they are now concerned about where they're going to get their medication from and how far they're going to have to travel. Alexis Godot, Fresno State Focus.
Coming up in sports, which Fresno State team is preparing to compete in Las Vegas?
Plus, what's happening at Chukchansi Park this season for the Grizzlies? Stay tuned for sports with Simone Rixey.
Fresno State, and I'm going to show you why. Here's the beautiful and newly constructed Henry Madden Library, which has a massive collection. The Save Mart Center, which is our sports venue and one of the best attended in the entire country. We're absolute pioneers in the agricultural sciences, having led to the production of the first university winery and drawing in a diversity of students to achieve academic success over the past 100 years. And you know, I wish I had time to tell you about everything else, but in reality, I think you're just going to have to come see for yourself.
So you decided to go to Fresno State. Good for you. But you were too insecure to show Fresno State pride? That's a problem. Because you never bothered to show pride in your school, you are shunned by other students. Professors can smell the stench of impending failure on you and take no pity. Even the mass communication students agree you have no future. But all of this could have been avoided if you simply showed your pride for Fresno State.
I am Fresno State.
Fresno State pride. Show it or face the consequences.
Welcome back to Fresno State Focus. Let's head over to Simone Rixey for our sports update. Simone?
Fresno State's rodeo bulldoggers are preparing to compete on one of the biggest stages. With the women's team currently ranked 5th in the region and the men's team ranked 6th, they are more than ready to compete in the UNLV College Rodeo Tournament on April 25th and 26th. Jody Gomes has been competing in rodeo since she was 9. She will be competing in the tournament for the first time.
Not so much nervous or more just anxious, ready to get out there and ride. It's one big adrenaline rush, so the minute we load up our horses and go, it's all business. So we're really excited. Vegas is the best rodeo. It's so much fun. So we're all just really pumped and focusing.
More than excited to compete in Las Vegas and is preparing every day to make sure she represents Fresno State. Here with us today is Fresno State's women's basketball player, Mariah Faulk, the sophomore guard. Glad to have you with us today, Mariah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So tell us a little bit about last season. I know you played in all 33 games, so what was like that for you?
I mean, I just came off a season of having a red shirt, so watching was killing me. So being able to come in and participate in all the games and be able to help my team win was like a feeling that I couldn't even describe.
Definitely. And what was it like for the game? I know you were named Mountain West Player of the Week. What was that game like for you?
It was kind of like a breakout game for me. Kind of got into the flow, felt good going into the rest of the season. And, I mean, all the credit goes to my teammates. They found me when I was open, and I was just able to hit the shots.
Right. So you had a career high that game, correct? The 27 points.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. Last Tuesday, Coach Peebley, she announced her resignation. What do you think that's going to do for the team next year?
I mean, my team has gone through this before, obviously, with Coach Wiggins. So they're handling it really well. It's always hard to lose someone you just built a relationship with, but we're more trying to focus on ourselves and the main goal of winning another championship again. So we're just sitting and playing the waiting game to find out who's next.
Definitely. And what can we expect for the Lady Bulldogs next year?
Definitely another championship. We're definitely going to get that Mountain West championship again. We're going to I mean, it's hard to say. We don't have a coach right now, so, but we're definitely going to keep the tradition going and winning championships.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being us today. We look forward to seeing you guys next season, and we wish Lady Bulldogs the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
The Fresno Grizzlies are back and ready for a new season. Reporter Jasmine Lopez shows us what's happening at Chukchansi Park.
The grass is green at Chukchansi Park and ticket sales are booming for the home opening game. It's time for some Grizzly baseball. things are looking a little different with this year's special event. On April 19th, a 2010 World Series replica ring will be given. They will wear these on April 26th. New York Giant throwback jerseys. May 17th, they will have 1954 inspired New York Giant and Brooklyn Dodger jerseys. And on August 2nd, Ninja Turtle jerseys will be worn. Bobblehead days are on June 18th, featuring Tim Lickinson and Pablo Panda Bear Sandoval on August 16th.
Yeah, I seen all the stuff on Facebook, and that's the only reason I'm going. Well, the main reason I'm going to go for the ring day because I'm a big Giants fan.
We've already gotten a couple guys assigned to us already that are some of the top prospects in the Giants organization. So there's a mix of those guys. There's a mix of guys that have played here last year that are kind of in between the majors.
And here in their left field, we will see once again Roger Kisnick. And Roger Brown is coming back at center field. And here at the Mount, Mike Kickham and Edwin Escobar.
I like to go to the games this year because we got really good players. Like this year we got Edwin Escobar.
Single ticket games are starting at $14. Don't forget to show your support to our Fresno Grizzlies, the Giants of tomorrow. Jasmine Lopez, Fresno State Focus.
So are we going to Vegas or the Grizzlies game?
You know, I would absolutely love to go to Vegas, not just because I love Vegas, but I haven't seen anything with rodeo, and I've lived here for quite some time, and I know the Clovis rodeo is really popular, so I'd love to check that out.
And it's a really big deal this year because it's the 100th time they've put it on.
Wow.
They even put a statue up in Clovis, in Old Town Clovis, so it's going to be a big deal.
Definitely. And then, Jeff, I know you said you wanted to check out one of the games, the Fresno Grizzly games.
Absolutely. They got some really awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jerseys. It's gonna be a fun time.
That sounds like fun.
You're gonna get one of those shirts. Is that what you're going for?
I wish. I think they're auctioning them off for charity after the game, so it's for a good cause.
Well,
definitely.
Good luck with that. Next week on Fresno State Focus, find out how students are preparing for the upcoming Vintage Days celebration.
Plus, I'll have a preview of the Centennial Clovis Rodeo.
Also, see how some Fresno State students spend spring break contributing to the community. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.